Okay, I think this is live, so I'll give us a wee blast here. Let me see if I can tweet this out. Okay, here we go. I think we've got some issue. What's that crack, folks? Jesus Christ. 7 of you. I was just about to drop a short, sir. But anyway, folks, just wanted to do one of these wee Q&As. I'll be doing these throughout the summer. We haven't been doing as many podcasts recently because we have a technical issue that we have no idea how to address. But if any of you out there are technical or intelligent, semi-intelligent, could you drop me a message? I need someone that can help me with SoundCloud and with uploads, the iPad, iTunes and all that. So if you're somewhat savvy with that, let me know. Anyway, Q&A about Manchester United. If you've got questions, folks, go on over to my Twitter feed at Malacans. I have it up live here, and I'll be answering any questions that you may have. Obviously, look, the World Cup's taking our attention at the minute. So many good, great things going on with the World Cup. If you could sign one striker this summer, who would it be? In my opinion, if I could go out and sign one player for United this summer, it would be James Rodriguez. I'm only joking. Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane would be he's the Alan Shearer that we didn't get back in the mid 90s. Harry Kane would be perfect for United. He'd be perfect for the Manchester United that I want to see. You know, if you could get, can you imagine a front line of Martial in his best form, Rashford and Harry Kane? I mean, that is a front three that will get you goals week in, week out. Well, Anthony Martial, he is the most likely of all Manchester United's players that are being criticised right now that will leave. Martial is someone that has I want to be really careful because I really don't want to get a ton of abuse, but obviously we know about his attitude. Folks, there's some other things that, let me ask you about Milinkovic-Savic, because prior to this World Cup, Lazio been asking United for 100 million for him. United like him. As I've said yesterday on yesterday's Periscope, the priority for United at the moment is they want a centre-back, they want a right winger, a box-to-box, young box-to-box midfielder, centre-back, right back, right winger, young box-to-box midfielder. A young box-to-box midfielder, Milinkovic-Savic, fits that description, but you're talking close to 100 million here. Would you pay 100 million for Milinkovic-Savic? Is he that level of player yet? The other thing that's bothering me, Paul Pogba is clearly an exceptional footballer, magnificent football player. But why are we sitting here 2 years into Paul Pogba's career at Manchester United and we still don't even know what his best position is? I could start a discussion right now about one tweet. What's Paul Pogba's best position? And it would result in a slew of responses from people without any consensus of saying it's this, it's this, it's this. We're talking about a Ballon d'Or winner at 25. And we're still arguing over what his best position is. That's as much Pogba's fault as it is Mourinho's. Paul Pogba is clearly an exceptional footballer, but Manchester United is littered with players that were exceptionally gifted but couldn't make it. Now, another young player, semi-young player, did get a lot of unfair criticism, and I was included in this, Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard, you can say it's just Panama, but how many times have we seen England in big tournaments not show up, lose these games, draw these games? Jesse, has there been a bigger, more successful turnaround in 12 months than Jesse Lingard? I mean, cast your mind back prior to the FA Cup final, even under Van Gaal a couple of years ago. I don't think there was a more maligned player in Manchester United's ranks. If you have something to say to me, drop me a tweet at Malacans. I will address your question on here. If you've got anything you want to ask me, let me know. If you want to see my naked arse, that's £5 an hour. Oh, did I say I don't know? Anything below the waist is twice the price. I'm sorry, that's my odd job. But it's seriously, David De Gea, it's the bizarre phenomenon of players that can play well for their international team, but not play well for their club team or vice versa. Well, David De Gea is clearly the best goalkeeper in the world, by far. I mean, the closest people are comparing him to is Manuel Neuer, and there's no comparison. Why does he not play well for Spain? He's been poor in this tournament. Not that David De Gea, we see at Manchester United, that's a reason why United finished in the top 2. Great to see it, though. Keeps Real Madrid's hands off him. What do you want to see most out of Mourinho next season? Tweet me at Malakans. What do you want to see out of Manchester United this season? Don't give me the obvious. Don't say, I want to see him win the league. We all want to see him win the league. I'm talking about, what do you want to see? Do you want to see Mourinho's solutions to United's problems actually work? I've got criticism for laying into Mourinho. It took me a year and a half before I adjusted my position on Mourinho. I liked him as a manager. I didn't like his style, but I thought, look, he's going to bring success to Manchester United. United fit the profile of a football club that hires Mourinho, big football club, haven't been successful. They want to catch their rivals and will sacrifice their principles to get it. United sacrificed their principles to get Mourinho, let's be honest. But they also sacrificed their principles to get Van Gaal and Moyes too. At least Mourinho's been somewhat successful. But I cannot take, and there's no excuse for this, another year of what we're seeing. I'm going to say something that pains me to say it, but it's factual. Pep Guardiola had that Manchester United team. We'd not be talking about whether Anthony Martial leaves or not. I do think some of this is Martial's fault, but I think if he was playing for a manager that believed in his ability and played to his strengths, he'd be a lot. I don't want you defending, you can't defend. Just stay in the final third, right? And actually get a left back that can play with him to get the best out of him. Because Anthony Martial is as key to a left back's performance as a left back's performance is to Martial. When Luke Shaw was playing his best football, he was playing it when Depay was playing his best football for Manchester United. So that left back position is key to getting the best out of a left winger. We're hearing if Fred is going to come in and free up Pogba. How much does it cost to free up Pogba? About Matic. He was supposed to free up Pogba. No, another 50-odd billion to free up Pogba. Oh, we're going to get the French Foreign Legion in. Maybe they can free him up. I mean, Paul Pogba, if you take a look at Ronaldo, leader, okay? Well, Messi can't lead Argentina. He can't carry that burden on his shoulders. Ronaldo asks for more. Ronaldo, great players, I know he's not a great example, but great players want responsibility. They lead their team. When a team's losing, great players step up. Great players want to be the center of attention, but they want to be the center of attention by what to achieve. When you have players that won't lead but have talent, they're a dime a dozen. I thought at the start of the season, Paul Pogba would be United's captain. I thought he was a captain in the making, and he would go on to lead Manchester United. Hasn't happened. Paul Pogba has to take responsibility as much as Mourinho has. Let me get to some of your questions. John Fitter says he wants to see improved pace and transitions from defence to attack. That is a brilliant comment, because that is, if you look at the transition from United, from defence to midfield, fine. Midfield up front is terrible. And that's when they don't bypass the midfield. The transition is so bloody slow, right? It's like watching Rod Stewart in a charity match. Oh, we tap you here, we tap you here. Anybody can do that. Opposition teams will let you have the ball. But we need to look for that final pass. Maybe Lukaku doesn't move enough. He has work to do on his movement. But that final third is dreadful. Alexis Sanchez needs to play closer to Lukaku. Thanks for the questions. Keep your questions coming at Malakans at my Twitter feed, and I will answer them for you. Jamakika at Tutorino says, I want Jose to change and ED to sign the players he wants. Well, There is an issue between Mourinho and Woodward in that Mourinho gets really frustrated with Woodward's reluctance to buy the players that he wants. We know this happened with Perisic. I think Perisic would have made a big difference to United, actually. When you saw Ashley Young play on the left, an actual winger, how many times did we see Ashley Young put the ball under Lukaku's head? And that's his strength as a target man. If United had Perisic, United would have improved. Also a left winger that will defend. We may even have seen a much better Luke Shaw with an experienced left winger. Is Willian the answer? Once again, United, you're sending a 29-year-old player. Let's be honest. What have we got left in Mourinho? Maybe a year or 2 years? Let's say 2 years tops. What are you going to do with Willian when he's 31, 32, and he's on 200 grand a week? Who's going to take him? You're going to get another Rooney situation where you have to subsidise the wages to get him out. This is one of the problems with selling to buy. United don't necessarily need the money from the transfers. Well, they're not stupid. It's the wages. So if you put Mourinho in a position where Ed Woodward says to him, you have to sell to buy, but he doesn't trust Woodward's ability to bring players in, but can't afford to lose anyone. That's how you still have Chris Smalling. That's how you still have not Phil Jones, but Phil Jones is a good player for me. But that's how you still have players that should have been shifted a long, long time ago. So for me, I think United need to get Mourinho the players first, and then sell on. A journey to hell. Do I think Lingard is closest to Jason Park? No, completely different players. Dante, Florence, yes, I'm up. Let's see. Juron, Gujron. Does Mourinho love coaching anymore? He looks his coaching to prove his critics wrong. For the love of the game, he's too quick to turn on his players. Well, look, Mourinho singling out his players is not a new thing. He's always done that. So it's not particularly nice. And I can't imagine if your boss went on live TV and criticized the job you do, and criticized your application, what that would typically result in is you being afraid to make a mistake. How does Luke Shaw know what to do to be right? He looks totally petrified. As for Mourinho being a coach, he's not a coach. Alex Ferguson wasn't a coach either. Why is it that Martial does not make good of the ball? We debated Martial to death, and we know there's an attitude problem there. So let me ask you folks about Lukaku. Drop me a tweet at Malakans. I would say that Mourinho has improved Lukaku no end. I think Lukaku is a much better striker than what we got at the start of the season. You're seeing him mature in a World Cup. I don't know if you haven't had a chance to read Lukaku's article in the Players Tribune. I strongly suggest you read it. That is the mentality of a winner. That's the mentality of a player I want to see in my team. Lukaku is a big, strong target man. He'll score goals. He's not a number 9 like Harry Kane. He's completely different. But Romelu Lukaku, if he was playing for somebody else, United fans would be salivating over. I think he's an excellent big striker. What else have we got here? Oh no, that's a website I shouldn't be on. So on top of that, there's the other things that we've seen. When I look at the form of James Rodriguez at Colombia, I'm wondering, why didn't United do more? If Real Madrid were willing to loan James Rodriguez out to buy, and you could get him on a loan option to buy, United should have been breaking the bank for him. Don't tell me James Rodriguez wouldn't have made a difference in the Sevilla game at Old Trafford, or United wouldn't have been closer to with the money that was spent. What I would have preferred, Sanchez stay at Arsenal. United spend that money on someone like a James. Keep either Rashford or keep Rashford on the left or Martial, and play James Rodriguez in the middle behind Lukaku. Can you imagine that? That's the type of player United badly need this summer. When I'm talking about a leader, I'm talking about a guy that is willing to come into Manchester United and dish out bollockings when they need it. Look, I want to see United organise their corners. One of the biggest examples of a lack of leadership at United is there's no organisation at set pieces. How many times do you see United concede from corners? Same goal every time. You know, getting bullied in the back four. No one's organising. And when they do concede, no one's turning around and saying, this, you. There's none of that. And United have always had that. In fact, the player I saw doing it towards the end of the season was young Lindelof. And he's a young player that improved for me. United badly need a player that in the middle of a game will turn the game on its head. United badly need a player that when they're in the middle of a game, they can't break a team down. There's someone's going to pick a ball up, score goals from nothing, create goals from nothing. Those players exist. You need to have the money to buy those players. And that's a player they badly need. When you don't have cohesion in the final third, how many times have we seen United do the same thing? Move up to the final third, they don't have the creativity to get in behind teams. So you see a long-range shot, or you see it thrown out wide and then a cross in and then it's cleared. You look at the United that started that season, last season. That was superb. Swansea away, magnificent. Everything, that's the way I want to see Manchester United play. Mkhitaryan, I think it's 6 assists up until the end of August. And then he never had another one until he left. I think he had one more when he left. But that's the United I want to see. That's what I want to see next season. I don't care if United don't win the league next season. I want to see a Manchester United that I am excited to watch every week, that I'm intrigued, that I'm going to be entertained. And if you don't care, all you care about is results, this is the wrong football club. There's so many arguments on Twitter about Manchester United's identity as a football club. Look, Manchester United are one of the few football clubs in the world. Barcelona, Real Madrid fall into this category. There's certain clubs around the world have to play exciting attacking football. Yes, of course, Manchester United are held to a different standard than Tottenham. Of course, Mourinho gets criticised more than Pochettino. They're completely different. So, folks, I'm coming to the end of my Periscope or my Google Hangout. It's almost 10 to 8. I want to thank you for all of you tuning in. This is my handsome son just bringing me back some Twitter. Your emails, folks. I will be on again tomorrow doing one of these properly where I actually am prepared for it. But send me your messages, direct messages, tweet me and all that there, and I'll address your questions. I'll have some more transfer news tomorrow when I talk to my guy, and I'll let you know what they say. All the best, folks.